listen to everything that was being said.
Very hard.
Very hard. And what made it hard? What was stopping us from?
Because you're making value judgments all the time. You think, do I agree with that statement or don't I agree with that statement? And the next statement, you kind of half miss the beginning of the next person's sentence.
It's human nature to listen to the bits that you agree with and not the bits that you don't agree with. You know,
So we were busy kind of judging what we were saying, thinking whether we agreed with it or not, what our thought was about it. And whilst we're doing that, we're kind of losing half of what's being said. And then if there was something that we agreed with, yes, of course, we're going to listen because we agree with it. But if we don't agree with it, then kind of it disappears.
For a bloke, it's really, really difficult because we can only do one thing at a time. Listening and thinking is almost impossible.
breathing as well.
Yeah, that comes into it as an added difficulty.
One comment I'd say about the listening to that, I actually found it quite a pleasure to listen because everybody was being so polite and not cutting each other off and not jumping in, whereas at work you're sort of, you know, all the time. And I thought, actually it was quite good, and even though I had time to think, I disagree with that, but what are they... Maybe because we're in the mode of doing this today, so you're switching on slightly.
I found it quite different actually. I didn't find I deliberately told myself not to judge, and actually I was watching the interesting dynamics between the individuals, and it was very polite, but actually I found it really refreshing because certain things were developed further, and then there was different points of view coming across and thinking, oh, that's quite interesting. So actually I just found it quite stimulating personally. Maybe I'm weird, I don't know.
Are you a pig or a chicken?
And how often do we go into a meeting or a discussion and someone tells us, right, your focus is to truly listen? Quite rarely. And I think what happened today is that we were told that, and we did listen, and we gave each other time, we gave each other the space to contribute, which is why probably the conversation kind of grew and became quite interesting. At the same time, it's still quite challenging to do that, especially when we make judgments about people, as you were saying. We've got this thing, it's called the reticular activation system in our brain. And basically it stops us from getting sensory overload. There's so much we can attend to that if we did, we'd go absolutely crazy, we'd kind of be paralyzed. So this system in our brain, the radar that I kind of picture as being like this, attends to the things that we think are important. And generally, there are those things that we've already made judgments upon. So if we've made a judgment about a student, for example, he doesn't know what he's doing. His ideas aren't really good. The brain will automatically ignore everything that student does that goes against our idea or our opinion on him, and attend to all those things he does that prove us right. Because as human beings, we like to be right. We love being right. And we will ignore anything that's going to prove us wrong. So let's keep this in mind when we are with students and maybe they are talking about something that we might not particularly agree with or like.